Well, it's Friday, and forgive us. We've been having sort of a crazy day, so it has been. I just realized I forgot to take a shower this morning.
I'm still washed out.
Are you? Willow's really sick,
Yep.
really super sick. So I had to get up and take her to the doctor first thing, and all that kind of stuff. It's very exciting.
You guys just got to hear his nose.
Yep, it's true.
The first date we went on, he blew his nose, and I was like,
I remember I blew my nose once, and one of my friends that had known me forever yelled, "Happy New Year!"
Anyway, I want to show one of my Christmas presents. Ooh.
It's a Kamaka ukulele. Oh, no, nothing, but it's an old one. So now she has two Kamakas
Yep. And a banjolele.
and a banjolele.
And then I want to show, let me put this down. The best present of all.
Oh yes.
My Baby Yoda shirt.
I was really afraid it wasn't going to fit her.
But it did. It looked terrible.
And here's one of my presents: a genuine no mask. It's old. I'm not sure how old, but it's old. It's lovely, and I've always wanted one, and there it is.
And I got you this.
Oh yes, what's that for? It's for medicines.
Medicines. It's called somebody who speaks better Japanese than me. It's an Inro. If I said it wrong, cool.
I love Japanese antiques.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, neat stuff.
What?
I'm just looking at those dudes. There's 3 dudes standing around watching
Four
one.
dudes.
No, 4 dudes standing around watching one dude in the back of a pickup truck pushing dirt around. Oh, wait, you're fine.
No, I'm
Do
not.
you want me to get you a hat? There's a purple hat right there.
The pom-pom got ripped off.
Oh well. Anyway, so I hope you all had a happy Christmas, assuming you celebrate that, and well, whatever. We're into the new year, and
I made this has owls on it. And I only put buttons on one.
how funny.
Yep.
Okay, well let's kick off.
That didn't help.
What
I
didn't
need
help?
a hair tie.
You do?
Yeah, but somebody forgot to buy them for me for Christmas.
I meant to. I failed at stocking stuffers this year.
No, you didn't.
I could have done better.
No, you didn't.
That's okay.
You got me gym clothes.
I did.
Okay. From Neil Singh Gupta. Hi, SNS. Lovely to watch you guys on a Saturday. It's upsetting getting horrible letters, but the problem lies with them and not you. We are all ordinary people. Happy Christmas, and I look forward to your next mail call.
And here it is.
Yep.
It's happening. I remember some it was some Buddhist. No, it was some philosopher. He said that when people are saying terrible things to you, it speaks not to you but to them. Whatever. So it's just, there are things to get worked
I'm
up
over
about.
it.
I forgot about it, honestly.
Then why'd you take these things?
What? I don't know, because he said that we're all ordinary people.
Yes, it's
We're
true.
all just people.
It is true. From Henry Galindo. Can you do a quick tutorial on the benefits of using Rodeco and its correct use? I will sometimes modify or regulate some of my watches, but not sure how to correctly use this stuff.
Sure, I'll be happy to. We're going to have to break, and I will get that done. Okay, so here is Rodeco. This is a brand new stick of it. This is how it comes. This is really super bright green. The thing with Rodeco is that it absorbs oil, and it sticks to itself more than it sticks to anything else. So when you get it, it's this super bright green color, right? And as you start to use it and it absorbs and picks up things, it turns darker. But this is still entirely usable. You can just mix it around like this. Rodeco is super helpful for cleaning, like cleaning hands and all this kind of stuff. So this is an old junk watch out of the junk parts drawers. This is how it came to me. I didn't do this to it. This is how it came. So we look at this, and I'm like, okay, you've got all this hazing on here, hazing on the metal, And sometimes Rotoco can do that and really grip and pull that kind of stuff off. It's also really good for basically removing any kind of oil or grease. Or also, sometimes you can use it to pull out hairs. It doesn't always work. But the nice thing is if you use it carefully, it's very, very useful. I use it for getting little fibers out of like movements. If I'm looking in the back of something and I see a little fleck of something, a flake of something, I can use the Rotoco and I can get in there and I can clean things up pretty well. These hairs look like they're pretty well locked in underneath that Seiko logo. Sometimes, the Rotoco can be used to straighten stuff. I don't know if you've noticed, but I just straighten out that Seiko logo just a hair, which is nice. Makes it look a little bit nicer. Yeah, I'm going to have to get, well, I'm not doing that now, but I would need to get in here and use tweezers to pull those out because they're pretty locked in. They don't want to move. Anyway, but that's it. So it's like you'll get these, hands that'll have a lot of this kind of hazing on them. And Rotoco can help you pull that stuff off, which is pretty cool. Anyway, I use it all the time. It's one of those tools that I always, 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 always use. And it's cheap. And it can be used a long, long, long time. The way that watchmakers used to, basically before the advent of Rotoco, used to be able to make a kind of bread dough. Not to eat, but literally like this. And it worked in much the same way. Okay, that's it. And we're back. But Sabrina just reminded me that we didn't do our wrist check.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. So we're going to break again. Okay, I'm sorry. What did you just say?
I said you have to guess, do you know what I'm wearing now? I guess he doesn't know.
I feel a 1 crown at 3 with tiny guards, I think. Or is that a crown? So it's with kind of a dome crystal. I think it's acrylic. Gosh, I don't know. Honestly.
You don't know?
You're wearing the Omega with that beautiful gold flake dial. Isn't that neat? I love that watch.
You did a beautiful job on it.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Oh, and I always want to remember, there are extra links to this bracelet that we have in storage.
Okay.
So if you ever need extra links.
In case I get fat.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No, you're not getting fat. In case you need to do something with it. I'm wearing a watch that I was wondering about with that Sebastian must have stored away. I found it in my sock drawer. The Mighty Sprocket. I was like, where the heck is it? And I've been looking for it. And then I was looking for something else, and there it was. He must have put it in a drawer. So there it is, the Mighty Sprocket, doing Mighty Sprocket things. I love this watch. It's so cool. I love especially the depth, the spacing of the hand stack, because it just gives it more depth. I just think it's nice looking. I like it. The Mighty Sprocket. Okay. So anyway, I'm delighted to have found my sprocket.
From Ali Farid. I have a question about my Seiko SRP 775. It seems that the lug holes on my watch are too close to the edge of the case. It's a brand new watch. My concern is that my mouth isn't working. Shut up.
I was looking at the guys digging dirt.
My concern is that it's a manufacturing error because my other Seiko watch has lug holes and are further away from the edge. I'm scared these holes will wear off towards the edge and won't be able to support spring bars.
Well, I filmed a lot of separate segments, so that we would have less time doing this bit, so that we could watch Willow. So we have a segment for that. Okay, so about the lug holes on these. Yeah, they're close to the edge. Yes, they are. You can see them right there. So they're all the way through. And yeah, they're close, but man, you'd have to put a ton of wear into these things to get them to the point they would wear through. Because you also have the additional thing that the tips of the spring bars can be longer. They can go most of the way through, and that's a lot. That's a lot of material that you would have to wear away before these things ever got to the point. Oops, sorry about that. Pushed the wrong button. Before these things ever got to the point of failing. I don't think I've ever seen I don't think I've ever seen a set of these things fail. And just for comparison, here's a 6309 diver, and you can see where the relative placement is. It's just about the same. These holes with a lot of wear and really being dirty and being abused, they can open up and it can be a little rattly, but I've never ever seen one fail. Just never have. Never have. So don't worry about it. Everything's going to be just fine. I do?
Yeah.
And we're back. So anyway, don't worry about it. Everything's going to be just fine. You'd have to...
You gave me this early, and it's massive, so I'm always, like, drinking from the cup.
I got it because I like the color.
I know.
Anyway, I'm just... The only thing that annoys me is that it's not... You can't, like, drop it and have it be totally waterproof.
Oh, well. From Sam D, I dig that 6117 orange ring mod. Sweet.
Oh, thank you. That's this right here. I'm pretty happy with it too. There's a couple more comments about that, I believe.
Okay. From Rob, I think the watch looks cool. It reminds me of a Glycine Airman, the orange version. It's good looking. I just got a new TV and I muted it about 4 times in the video because I kept hearing banging and thought it was outside. Then I figured out it was the military maneuvers being held upstairs in your house. Apparently my new TV has great surround sound. I don't even understand most of what you talk about watch models wise. I only have a single Samurai, but I tune in every Friday because I enjoy the banter between the two of you and it makes me think the world sucks a little bit less as a guy with PTSD and other stuff. Oh, I almost said something.
You did?
Yeah.
Everything's going to be well. We appreciate that you're watching and hope that you're well. And the world is. I always say the world's mean enough. We don't need to add any more meanness to it.
And most of us have stuff along with other stuff, and it sucks.
Yeah, but we all have our things. But I wanted to break and actually sort of talk about this 6117 because I pulled this out. Somebody had asked me if I had one that I could sell, and I pulled it out, and it was out of my basket case drawer, like watches that were pretty rough. And this one, it looks great, but it actually has a fair amount of, whoever the original owner was, this thing worked in a really, really hot, wet environment, and the guy didn't ever like clean it externally, and it has all this pitting that you can't see, but it's underneath the rotating ring. It's not functional, but it's there. And so I just didn't think about it. Also, the dial was kind of banged up. But then I decided I like working on watches when I'm not working on watches. And so I took some time and I put this one together and I think it's neat. Anyways, I'm not sure how long it'll stay here. Now that it's fixed and can go, I don't know, maybe I'll put it up, maybe I won't. If I do sell it, I'll include the original dial and the correct short 24-hour hand.
From Michael Sands, Merry Christmas to you all. Personally, I dig the dial on the 6117, and I definitely like the idea of being able to track 3 different separate time zones. But since the 6117 slaves the 24-hour hand to the 12-hour hand and doesn't allow it to be independently adjusted with the crown, you need to set the 24-hour hand to track a time zone different from that of the 12-hour hand when installing the hands themselves, which also means the hands would have to be reset every time one or the other of the time zone switches between standard and daylight savings time. Not super practical, unfortunately.
No, it's not. And you are correct. So it doesn't, of course, track 3 time zones.
Question: would a dial like this work with the 6117, 6419 with the internal rotating 24-hour ring, or do they only work on models with the external rotating bezel?
The answer to that and many other questions is going to be in this segment right here, all about the 60. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this thing too. The original dial on these is really conservative, and also the dial that was on this one was banged up. It's missing the applied Seiko logo, but I can put one on. That's not a real problem. But it's got, like, can you see the pitting there above the automatic? And there are the 2 holes for the Seiko logo. And then, I don't know, it's just kind of banged up and it's missing some of the text. And I was putting it together. I mean, believe me, I can make this thing look quite decent. But I was just like, I always thought they were kind of boring. And as I was looking through my 6117 stuff, I'm like, I've got a lot of other things. And I was like, I wonder if these dials, these later dials, will work in this earlier case style. And sure enough, they did. And I had a few of the orange ones, as you can see there. I also briefly considered trying one of these old school blue and black ones, and those also would have worked. I have a couple different variants there. This one is just chrome markers, and this is the earlier style for the 6117. Just one of the earlier ones. But I don't know. I showed them to Sabrina, and she's like, no, I don't like it at all. So I didn't put that together. I don't know. I've got a lot of stuff. I don't have everything. If I had I don't know. I haven't figured it all out yet. But so far, I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah, it looks a little bit like a navigator. Like a Zodiac, or an airman. You know, if that 24-hour hound was independently settable, that would be great, but it's not possible. There's no way to link, because the way you normally would do that is you would have basically a quick set for the date. Instead of having the date wheel would be pushing this 24-hour hand around. And that's the way that would work. I just don't have a way to do it. But you do have, two scales that you can do, play with if you'd like. I just like the idea of I just like the idea of having this later style long hand here, with the 24-hour ring on the dial. I just think it's great. And with a little touch of orange, I think that's cool. I don't know. We'll see. It runs beautifully. I'm very happy with the service on it. Okay, and that's about it. So I'll edit that other thing out. Okay. Anyway, I wish it'd be cool to make one with multiple time zones. I mean, my glycine does that, but this one doesn't. What are you gonna do? How many times? When was the last time I left my time zone?
We went to Florida 2 years ago.
There you go. There's the answer.
Milo wants to go use the kiddie facilities.
Well, he can cross his legs and hold it.
Wow, I was gonna go be nice.
Oh, you can if you want. I'll read the question. Okay, Keith Donald. Rocket is looking out the front window and he can see the guys pushing dirt around. They're installing the high-speed super fiber gigabit stuff that we managed to get pushed through for the city. So it's municipal. They're going to treat internet like what it should be, which is a utility. So Comcast spent, how much money did Comcast spend to fight that?
I don't know.
Millions, like $20 million, $30 million to try to fight this town doing their own municipal internet. You know what? Screw you, Comcast. No. They throttle us all the time. We pay for all this crazy speed and it never works right. I cannot wait for this process to be done and to get hooked up. 50 gigabytes a second, be able to download a movie in 2 seconds.
Are you gonna say that every time?
I can't wait to try it. I should be able to upload. Right now, to upload these videos takes about
a while.
45 minutes, something like that. Maybe more. I should be able to upload it in seconds.
And then you guys would get us faster.
Which, of course, makes everybody's lives better.
Okay, did you read the question? I wasn't actually listening. Sorry.
No.
Okay. Keith Donnelly. Like the idea of a birth year watch. Unfortunately, it's not something you can change. Mine, June 1994. I'm old! Sorry. 1994. I remember 1994.
Hey, so do I.
Yeah, but you were already old.
Yeah, I was already old. Living in San Francisco, riding scooters.
I really hope you continue to make these videos and in the simple format you do, as it makes your channel very honest and easy to relate to compared to other channels. Very grateful to you both for taking time to make these videos and hope you have a happy Christmas and a great New Year. I think we did, except for Willow being sick. We had a pretty okay Christmas.
I knew she was going to get sick. Anyway, I have a whole segment about a birth year watch, and I had suggested in comments that you look at the 7002s. I think they're great. This isn't quite a birth year watch, but this is real close to it. So I have a segment that I filmed. What's a segment? Yeah, finding a birth year watch. That's not so hard. Finding birth year and month, that's difficult. Like I said in my comment, your best bet is gonna be a 7002, because they had a couple different variants in that time. They had the regular 7002s with the standard 100, the standard kind of dial like this. But also, they had the 7002 7039 transitionals. The difference between these two models, forgive this one, it's original, it's missing its handset. The big oh wait, that's also a transitional. What am I doing? I'm some kind of a crazy person. Standard 7002s just were 150 meters. They had 32 millimeter crystals. This one's been badly reworked, and they're bidirectional. This turning is bidirectional. The transitional came around because Seiko wanted to meet the new standards, the new dive standards that necessitated that it have a unidirectional bezel specifically. So these have the more modern style SKX bezel, which is a single direction, but as a result, the crystals got smaller by 0.5 millimeter. Instead of 32, they're 31.5. Now, I was pretty excited when I found this one because it's a sleeper, despite the fact that the insert is badly worn. The rest of it is actually in really nice condition. I mean, the dial and hands look great. It is so close to being your birth year and month. Yours should have been 4/6. This is 4/4. 2 months. 2 months. 2 months. It's just, and I found another one. This transitional, which is missing its handset, but I have hands for it, is 4/9. So either April or September, but no June, sorry to say. Anyway, what great watches. This one's nice. It's a nice watch. If it wasn't for the crazy worn insert, this would be a real eye catcher. She asked how many segments there were, and I said more than one. Anyway, so these are great watches, and I still back them just a ton. And especially these transitionals, people don't really look for them, but they have basically all the functions of a 007, something like that. They're cool. I mean, the flat loom on the dial, that's unfortunate. If I was really, truly skilled, I could reloom one of these with like the puffy loom like you see on the very rare tan loom models, and that would certainly be an improvement, but what are you going to do? What?
I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Okay. From Julie Hill. Sabrina, Baby Yoda. Can he be called a baby? He's 50 years old. I suppose that's a baby in Yoda years. He's so cute.
I have a theory.
I don't want to hear your theory.
What do you mean?
Well, you know what? Unless people are torrenting the show, it's still not available in the UK or like what?
I will.
You can tell me later.
In Empire Strikes Back, when Luke goes to Dagobah, and he runs into this weird green swamp creature who acts like he's a couple light bulbs shy of a dozen loaves or whatever it is, and it turns out that it's Yoda. So that we know that they have a puckish sense of humor, his species, and that they tend to disguise themselves in certain ways to ascertain their situation. So I think that we're going to find out you don't want to hear my theory, so plug your ears.
Well, no, I don't want them if you ruin it for people that don't.
Well, no, it's only a theory. I don't know anything.
Well, we're going to find out something tonight.
I guess that's true. Anyway, I have a personal theory.
You're going to burst.
I'm not going to tell anyone. Well, what if I'm right?
Then hooray.
Can I tell the people my...
Yes.
Okay, if you don't want to avoid... I don't think I'm giving away any spoilers here, but if you're worried about it, plug your ears or turn down the volume. My personal theory is that this Baby Yoda is, well, it's 50. I don't think that it's an infant. I think it's pretending to be childlike. I also personally believe that she is a female. So I think we're going to find out that she is a completely sentient female who is doing stuff.
I like having... I don't care about the gender, but I like it being a baby.
I know, everybody does. Okay, so we can move on now.
From Doug Kane. Remember when the calendar, correction lever, and spring were two separate pieces? Older Seiko movements. There are still some of those springs in space from my bench.
Yeah, it's always fun because when I'm working on something and I haven't mentally prepared myself, I haven't done a quick recap of that movement, like a 6619 or something like that. And you go in and you're pulling the calendar apart and you hear click. And you're like, okay. And that, because the way that they did it, more modern Seikos, the calendar correction spring lever, it looks like a longish U with a wedge shape, and it's just a single piece. They're impossible to lose really, and they're on a post. It's nice, but the earlier ones is like literally it's like a lever, and then it has like a separate U yoke spring on it, and the yoke springs can just go funk, and then they're gone. It was a dumb. I don't know why Seiko did it that way, but whatever. They stopped, but it's always fun putting those things back together. It takes real time.
From Foreman Colossus at 12:34 on some video. Excellent point. It's why I now hate Seiko.
I don't know. Just talking about how Seiko service centers aren't there and you can't get them serviced and that kind of stuff.
In the old world, things were fixed. Seiko writes pages of public relations press to tout their green practices, yet ignores the repairing is recycling and saves waste. If Seiko won't fix anything, they would certainly sell us parts to keep their antiques going. And that would be truly good press that reflects well on Seiko.
I do very much wish that Seiko would do long-term support. I mean, from a personal standpoint, it's great that they don't, because they don't. We get work. But, I mean, if they stocked parts for their most, prominently made and used models, I mean, it would lend a great deal to the perception of their quality. I mean, it says something when I could, if I went and bought a vintage BMW, 2000 Ti Lux, and I shipped it off to Germany, they'll remanufacture it essentially. If you want to pay the money, they'll do it.
Sorry, you're not boring me. I'm tired.
But Seiko just won't even do that. They don't care enough to do that. And I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but it's like, they would rather that you just buy a new watch. They want to make the parts for as short a time as possible and then move on. Everything is just, I don't know, long-term support just ain't there.
From Terry Ma. Hi Spencer, a question for here or your Friday Q&A. I found a December 1969 blue 6139-6019 resist two-piece sweep with original railroad bracelet, and I was confused because I was expecting either a proof dial or a one-piece sweep. Thanks for explaining that this is a transitional model.
Mm-hmm.
I also have a April 1970 blue 6139-6010 proof with a single piece sweep. This one is also baffling me. Have you seen any transitional models like this, or is it more likely that the sweep hand was replaced at some point in its life? Thanks for all the knowledge that you share with the Seiko community.
Hi, Terry. Yeah, on the first one, you're correct. That's a transitional model. The last digit 9, that means it's North America, which just like the 6139 6009s are going to have resist with the two-piece sweep. What you're seeing on your proof, that means that it went in for service and that the sweeps were replaced. That was their standard practice. I have some proof models, a number of them, chronograph 6139s with that replaced sweep. And it's just what they did.
Sebastian.
He's
pretty angry.
Injustices. What was he often cries because he's annoyed about something.
Yeah.
Versus I don't really think he gets hurt very often.
No, he falls on his head and he doesn't care. It's when he gets mad that the dog took something
or nibbled him.
Or nibbled him a little, because that's what the dog does when he wants to say I love you, or maybe
he goes.
Or maybe Sadie took something.
Maybe, yeah. Sadie made him stop digging in the plants upstairs, and he bitched about it for 5 solid minutes.
Uh-oh.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, what do you want?
Sebastian was going to throw this.
Well, he was trying to throw everything. The big thing is to make sure he doesn't get my my Apple.
Where are they?
They were in my pocket. Where the heck did I put them?
You lost them already.
I did not lose
Yay!
them. In any case.
Sadie, do you want to say hello?
How do I... There's barely
Just
any room.
get in front of me.
Where do I put... There, crack and hold my seaweed.
I don't think she enjoys
Crack
seaweed.
and hold my seaweed.
It's my seaweed, so... Yay! Fun!
Oh wait, show off your hoodie I gave you.
Why can't we take the phone off the stand?
Because it would be a pain in the butt.
Ugh.
In any case, thank you, Sadie, for saving this from Sebastian. If you see my AirPods somewhere, just make sure to take them away from Sebastian before he throws them to somebody.
Okay, Kraken, thank you for holding my seaweed. Goodbye.
Goodbye. What was I talking about? Anyway, so was I talking about the one-piece sweep still, or had we moved on?
I have no idea. The last thing I remember you talking about was sending a BMW to Germany.
Yeah, if I had the money, man, I'd do it.
You don't have a BMW?
No, I know. I have an MG, and it also needs to be
Show
sent
them
to...
the keychain.
I need to send the MG to Germany to have them completely remanufacture it. There you go. I painted the orange. It was just sort of the same metal color, and I painted the orange so it would match the orange car.
You almost called it the shiny car.
Almost called it the shiny car. It may be shiny someday.
Maybe. Okay, am I on to the next thing? I don't remember what you were talking about.
I don't either.
Okay, I can read it.
Oh, you can?
I'm capable of reading.
Okay, on we go.
From RG, hi SNS and Merry Christmas. Couple of questions for the 2019 finale episode next Friday. 1. I purchased a couple of used Sin watches and apparently had been heavily worn with some dust and wrist cheese accumulated on the case and straps. What is the best way to thoroughly clean them up without disassembly and without damaging the case polish?
With stuff like that, what I recommend getting is you can get these little one-piece ultrasonic jewelry cleaners. You can get them on Amazon or something, like $30 or $40. They're cheap. And the one that we've had, Sabrina bought me, God, almost a decade ago, and I use it basically every day, usually multiple times a day, and it still works. You get that stuff, and you can use. It has a little heater inside to make the water hot, but you can use that.
Really, that's what the heater does?
Mm-hmm. But then you can just use like literally liquid dish soap a little bit in there, and that works. Or if you want to get really more serious, you get non-ammoniated clock cleaner. It comes in a big old thing. Don't get the ammoniated stuff. It'll peel the paint off your walls and burn your hairs out of the inside of your nose. But you get the non-ammoniated kind, and it does a really nice job. But that's only for the bracelets and stuff. For the cases, something like that, if it has rotating rings or anything else like it, you pull those out. But you go to the supermarket and you get the round solid wood toothpicks, right? And then you get an X-Acto knife and you shave one end down to like a sort of a nice little sharpish wedge, and then you just very carefully, Are we
getting wrist cheese out?
Yeah, we're getting all the wrist cheese and junk out, and you use that, and you get everything out, and then you get a very clean cloth with maybe a little bit of the water from the material from your brand new ultrasonic cleaner you just got with a little bit of the watch and clock stuff, and you use and clean that off a little bit again with a soft cloth, and you just, I don't know, clean it off that way and then put it back together.
I just am remembering the one time you had one that had wrist cheese and hair in it.
Oh, there's been a couple like that. There was that. It was one that was amazing. It was this early 70s 6106 dress watch in gold with the kind of case that snaps together like this. It's not like a screw-on case back. It's like you have the back which holds the movement, and then the seal goes down, and then the crystal goes down. It's plastic, and then the top of the case snaps on top of it, and that lower case has these cutouts around the edge. And I opened this thing. Oh, it was so dirty. And then I opened it up, and the guy must have had the most amazingly luxurious body hair, because every single gap was packed full of black wrist hairs.
He's like, look it!
Oh, it was amazing. I still have that case.
I'm assuming it's clean now.
Oh yes, it's very clean, and I don't think our water treatment plant though ever recovered.
Okay, the second question is, what do you think of a much rarer version of the Citizen 8110, the Speedy, model number 679313? I am sure at least one of you will love it, or maybe both. The white dial version is a true unobtainium. Thanks. I didn't look at it.
No, I haven't looked at it either. I can pull it up and put in a picture of it real quick. I don't know. Again, Citizen is still, even though I've started doing some work on Citizen stuff, it's still not a prime sort of concern for me. Though, of course, last week I was going through my stuff. You remember me working on Sabrina's Brad Pitt watch from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I had all this trouble, and I couldn't get any parts, and all this other kind of crazy stuff. Going through my stuff, incorrectly labeled in the wrong box, was another complete 8110 movement. So I'm actually going to go back through that Brad Pitt watch with the replacement movement and rebuild it again completely, because I've never been 100% happy with how that thing came out.
And the crown came out.
And the crown came out. Yeah, that's because the setting lever stud is worn, and that watch just got beaten.
I know.
I'm going to make it better.
That's fine.
I'll do what I can.
Okay.
Okay.
From Michael Wineapple. I am the original owner of a 6108 8009 that I purchased in 1969 when I was discharged from the Navy. I have used this for many years as a diver, and it was sent back to Seiko for service in 1981. It still runs great and haven't scuba dived for decades. Didn't know it was a collector's item until now.
Yeah, it's a collector's item. Oh yeah, especially the fact that it has all of your known history with it. And it doesn't quite have military history, but it has veteran history. So, I mean, they're super cool. You sent it into Seiko in 1981 for work. I wonder, did they replace the dial of their hands? Are those hands original? If you have time, email me a picture of your watch. I'd like to see it.
From Randolph Cirillo. I don't understand why you don't get more views or subs. Please don't stop making videos. They are so informative, and I absolutely enjoy watching your Friday-ish videos while relaxing, drinking coffee, one of my favorite times of the week. I don't know what we're doing wrong.
I don't know. Like, I saw a thing, there was some YouTube influencer who had her video, and it was just literally this woman, and she was eating her, like, breakfast crunchies and drinking tea. It was like a 16-minute video. She had over 500,000 views.
What was she talking about?
Literally her breakfast and her tea. That's it. I have no idea why nobody watches this, or at least all three of you who do watch us.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't know. It's funny. I don't understand it. I don't understand the algorithms. I mean, maybe there's all kinds of things we could do. No, we did all the stuff we're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. We need to be retweeted or whatever the heck by, like, Ernie or something. Put on InstaFace.
On InstaFace. On Snapbook.
Yep.
From YouTube person. I remember that NOS one you had. Still got it. I missed it.
He's talking about the 7005 MAC-V SOG watch. The person who bought the one that I just put up is the guy who bought that NOS one. And so we were working on selling this thing, and Sabrina said, I said, I think it's the same guy who bought the NOS one in the box. And Sabrina said,
what did I say?
You said, I wonder if he wants one so that he can have one to wear and one to look at. And then the guy contacted us and said, it kills me that I can't wear the NOS one. I want one I can wear. Well, anyway, this is the last video of 2019.
Woo!
The last video. It's been I don't know. Generally, I think it's been a good year. I haven't taken a job for almost a year, and I'm still 82 jobs deep.
Yeah, but you're better than you were.
I'm better than I was. But I'm hoping 2020 is going to get us to the point where I'm going to start taking work again. I really want to be able to start doing that. I'm having, I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And we're getting down. I still get a lot of contacts every day from people who want work done, for which I'm obscenely grateful. I just, I can't, I'm just not yet in that position, but we're getting there.
I almost just fell off the trunk.
You did?
Yep.
Oh. Anyway, it's been a great 2019. Thank you for sticking with us and talking with us and doing all that stuff and sending in your questions and putting up with our completely unplanned videos.
And our children bonking.
Yes, children bonking. But I don't know, that's it. It's we look forward to 2020 and faster internet when those guys get their job done, and it's going to be fun. I think I will actually do one last video, which will be a retrospective of neat watches that arrived here in 2019. Sort of state of the collection thing.
Yeah, you do those every year.
Yeah, I do. I always forget about it until like right now. But I will. We'll see. We'll see what kind of cool watches I get in and put it out, and we'll go from there. That's really about it. Okay, thanks, folks. It's normally be pizza night, but we got an incredible deal on a free range turkey, and so
it was a $50 turkey we got for $5.98. Woo!
So it's in the oven right now. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna have turkey tonight.
Yep.
So no pizza, just turkey.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you all very much.
Goodbye.
Happy New Year. Bye bye. One thing I forgot to talk about. I'm gonna put some more watches up for sale on the website. Again, I was digging through, and there's some things I was gonna put. Wow. One like this beautiful 6206 Sea Lion, fully serviced. Beautiful watch. Beautiful watch. Lovely dress watch. Nice piece. I'm going to put that up on the website, fully and freshly serviced. I'm also going to put up this actually quite rare piece. This is a World War II Seiko of one of the three variants that they made. It's the double case model. This outer case is something Swiss and post-war, but the inside is like a teeny tiny pocket watch, and it's hey, I caught it midair. It is 100% original World War II issue with the cherry blossom on the front there. I've had it for a long time and it's just bouncing around, and I don't really know the history of it. The movement's in fantastic condition. It must be serviced. But it's a pretty cool piece. Lots of cool World War II history. I've got some other things I might put up. I'm considering whether or not to sell this baby. So if you're interested, drop me a line. It's pretty cool. It's a little smaller than my sort of my sweet spot, my size, but I don't know. We'll see. That's it. Just one last note. And so I'll do that video for 2019's watches, and we'll see if that's entertaining. Okay. Bye. So one of my hobbies, by the way, so I'm not just looking at watches, is I'm always cruising and looking for original Japanese, hand forged swords, things that are, like early Edo, or even better yet, Muromachi, which is a very, it's a much older period. But every now and then I find some amazing things, and I found something pretty amazing, and it's super cool. It's way too expensive for anything I would ever buy, of course, but man, it's beautiful. And both the blade and the furniture are verified, and they come with documentation and everything. It's just beautiful. So if anybody has, I don't know, $7,000 they don't really need anymore, I really want this, but I'm not gonna buy it. But I wanted to show it to somebody.